Good evening, everybody. It is meteorologist Weather Forecast, and welcome back to another video. I know today I did a triple upload. It was most likely going to happen, guys, because it is going to make landfall in less than 24 hours, guys. And it could either be Tropical Storm Barry or Hurricane Barry as it makes landfall. So you guys really need to know if it's going to be a hurricane or tropical storm. So that's why I'm doing this triple upload, guys. And then I'm going to be doing maybe possibly a double upload tomorrow. I'm actually going to be doing a collab or collaborating video with Insight Weather around 3 p.m. tomorrow. So guys, stay tuned for that. We're going to be collaborating a lot more often now. But guys, if you guys want to know all the new updates, the cone, the timing, even the radar, even the National Weather Service, and the intensity guidance, if you guys want to know all that, even if you want to know if you're going to be impacted or not, or your family's going to be impacted or not, just go ahead and stay tuned to this video for you guys to have all the details. And yeah, stay tuned. Alright, so as you can tell, we are going to be looking at the National Weather Service. Cause we do have somewhat a difference now, because they do change quite a lot of times. So again, we still have the hurricane and storm surge warnings. We should not have those be taken away anytime soon. We should just have more being added. So again, we do have the we do have the hurricane warnings off the coast of Louisiana, and we do have a couple counties in the southern coast of Louisiana are being affected and are under hurricane warnings right now. You really do not want to be under a hurricane warning and stay at your house. The best way really to go to is either go to the Texas area or just drive up north to possibly even just a couple miles north to the Jackson, Mississippi area. They won't get affected as much. So guys, it's just a matter of planning out if you're going to evacuate or not. Right now is basically the last hour, really, because then it's getting dark over there, and we're already having rain showers over there. We're already having some windy and cloudy weather over there, because I know people commented on my last video saying it was already windy and cloudy. Because guys, it's very, very close. The outer bands are already affecting New Orleans right now in Mississippi. So right now is the time to move on. Right now. And then we do have storm surge warnings in the dark purple for parts of the southern coast of Louisiana too, and then the lighter purple from Mississippi coast all the way to the Louisiana coast. We do have storm surge watches. And then in the dark red color, we do have tropical storm warnings, and that is now for even parts of western Louisiana too. So it looks like western Louisiana is actually in it too. So basically all of Louisiana except I think 2 or 3 counties are under somewhat a alert because of Barry. And then the green we do have, again, those flash flood watches, and then the light green we do have flood warning. So again, we do have a big threat of flooding. As you can tell, Barry is still getting very close to Louisiana. The outer bands are starting to affect the USA right now as we speak, the southern Gulf. It's still going to stay in the ocean for a couple more hours and should make landfall based on last time I checked, 7 a.m. tomorrow. It could start delaying because it has delayed from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. now. But it has gone a lot stronger. The winds are still at 65 miles per hour. Yes, it is very, very close. It's actually gone a lot bigger today. Earlier this morning was actually 50 miles per hour, so now it's 65. That's actually a big increase. That lets you know that it did go over some very warm waters today, as it did pass parts of Mississippi and the Alabama coast. And then the central pressure is at 993 millibars, so that's how it's gotten a lot much stronger. So we should see some organization, some more circulation of vorticity, and it is moving a bit faster. I know it's only moving 1 mile per hour faster. It's 6 miles per hour now, but that is kind of that's still gonna make some kind of that's still gonna kind of make it a bit faster, and some landfall can be a bit faster. As you can tell, now we're going to be looking at the satellite imagery. As you can tell, guys, we do again have these outer bands affecting the areas of the New Orleans area, southeastern Louisiana, and even look western Louisiana. We are having some clouds formation there, and even look to the Pensacola area, we are having that. But again, we are having vorticity in these outer bands. We are seeing it coming this, and then coming back around Tropical Storm Barry. It could possibly be, again, Hurricane Barry. We just need to find out. And again, we are having these outer bands, a lot of rotation in the northern part of the storm. We are, again, we're finally getting the circulation. We're finally having that rotation. You want to see that circular form for a hurricane tropical storm. You don't want to see a blob like this because then it's not very organized. So we're finally having the circulation now. We are finally having our outer bands. All we really need left is the eye and the eye wall formation and a little bit more verticity. We are kind of having some right here. We're having a lot of more clouds here. They're getting a bit more higher, which is kind of a bit better. It's a bit better to have a hurricane, but it's a really bad sign for people in the New Orleans area and the Louisiana area. So we did have the cone and timing update now, and now again they are showing it now showing landfall a bit later. It could make landfall maybe around 11 a.m. or noon. So again, it is starting to delay a bit. But again, now it is staying a tropical storm area. Again, it showed that last time my first video, and then the second video it showed hurricane. So we just need to figure this out. First, we're going to be looking at the colors now. So we are having the yellow for the Gulfport area. We are having tropical storm watches in the yellow. And then the blue from New Orleans all the way across the southern the southern coast of Louisiana. We have tropical storm warnings in the blue, like I said. And then right here, we have the red, which is hurricane warnings, which is where they can expect the worst. And then we do have the hurricane watches in effect for the pink colors. This thing's really looking bad now because look at how big this circular area is for the winds. The current wind is now tropical storm. And look how big it is, guys. We're having some tropical storm winds, according to this, in parts of southern Louisiana already. Look at this. It's starting to go inland, these winds. So again, southern Louisiana is the area that's going to be getting the worst of it right now of today. And again, we could see it getting just on the coast at 1 p.m. Saturday. Again, this whole cone that's gray is 1 to 3 days. By 1 a.m. Sunday, it should stay Tropical Storm Barry, and then by later Sunday, once it gets into northern part of Louisiana, it should get to depression, and then it should get to a subtropical depression by Monday, and then by Tuesday, it should basically be possibly the remnants of Barry as it moves into next to the St. Louis area. Now we're going to be looking at the model track guidance, and once again, the model tracks are starting to disagree now, so we're having a lot of. This is basically the worst time to having a disagreement. Hours before landfall, hours before landfall, 99% chance of it are all agreed. But now they're just getting a bit more split up. As you can tell, look how close it is to the inland areas, guys. That's why we're having these outer bands already. This is the center area. And look, all the models are showing it going away from New Orleans. So again, New Orleans is in the clear for now. So is Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge is on the clear now. I believe Alexandria is in the clear now. So we have basically most of eastern now, Louisiana, all the capital, and the big city, New Orleans, are all in the clear for now. Earlier today, it looked like they were in the bullseye. Again, that's how these models can change just like that. That's why I'm doing a triple upload. But we are going to have, based on all the models, looks like we can have the cone now having it turn to the northeast a bit later than expected. So we can actually get awfully close to Chicago and bring in some winds there. So it looks like it can go straight through Little Rock. Now some models are getting a bit closer to Oklahoma now. And then it could go through St. Louis, possibly even go through Indianapolis and Cleveland. So it's going to be going through much of the country there. But just look if you're in any of these areas. And again, this is the general area. Just look if you're in the center of all these spaghetti models. Alright guys, so now we're going to be looking at the intensity guidance. As you can tell, less models are showing at category 1. So again, today has just been a roller coaster. Every time it changes from going more models to category 1, less going to category 1, more showing category 1, less showing category 1. So now it's the turn for less a chance for category 1. A couple hours ago we had 5. And now we only have 2, so looking like it's going to stay Tropical Storm Barry for now. Again, guys, it can change very fast. It can possibly change right after I upload this video. So again, all the models are showing it getting up to 60 knots to possibly even 65 knots, which is cutting right on the line. You can tell right on the line there. And then once it starts to weaken. Once it gets in the next 24 hours, you can see the models start to fall apart in the next 24, in between the next 24 and 30 hours, and they should just fall. It's just looking like it's gonna fall apart by the next 48 hours to in between 72 hours, and where we do see it go back to depression, and then should get to subtropical depression before it goes into the St. Louis area. Alright, so now we're going to be looking at the precipitation. I usually been looking at the European model, but now we're going to be taking a look at other ones. So now we're going to be looking at the one from the Hurricane National Center here. So as we can tell, we have a lot of colors here, and here's the bar in inches for those people who need to look at it. So we're going to be looking at the yellow color first. So this is going all the way from parts of Memphis, possibly even Nashville. I believe Nashville's actually right here. But it's going to be all the way through parts of close to Little Rock, all the way to parts of Gulfport. That's where we can actually experience up to 4 to 6 inches, so half a foot of rain. Some areas, Little Rock can get half a foot of rain, and even parts of northern part of Memphis and Gulfport can get up to half a foot of rain, guys. And 6 inches in just a couple of days, guys. This is going all the way to, this is going to actually go all the way to Friday, next Friday. So that is a lot of rain for the next couple of days. 6 inches, guys. So we can actually, that's why we have some flash flooding here. And guys, look, remember the Mississippi River is going like this, I believe. Goes like this. So this is the Mississippi River. Just look at this, guys. We can actually have up to 6 to 10 inches in the Mississippi River. And the Mississippi River is actually currently over flood stage right now. That's the first time a hurricane has hit Louisiana in a very long time where it's been the river's been above flood stage. So that's why it's a very big deal. And then we can actually have up to 10 to 6 to 10 inches there from New Orleans down. We're looking like we're going to have less rain from New Orleans and more rain for west of New Orleans. So now in the red, we can actually have 10 to 15 inches here for parts of just west of Louisiana, or sorry, just west of New Orleans, and for the most southern part of their Mississippi, next to the Louisiana border there. And then we can actually have the bullseye here for up to 15 to 20 inches there for, I believe it's called Morgan City, Louisiana, is where we can actually have up to 15 to 20 inches. But in this general circle is where we can actually expect 10 to 20 inches in between there, so we can have less than 20 or more than 10 inches. Now we're going to be looking at the wind, the 10-meter wind now. So this is for these areas that are in the lower elevations. So the next 24 hours, we do expect to have it up to 43 knots there again, possibly still affecting the areas starting to affect Louisiana, and then could bring in possibly up to 50 knots, 52 knots there, even 57 knots before right when it makes landfall, and then could start to bring in some winds there as it goes out into parts of the Ozarks. Not going to be a big, huge area for winds. Now we're going to be looking at the H50 HPA. If you guys are wondering why I'm looking at this when it's for 5,000 feet in the atmosphere, and basically nobody in the South Central lives up that high because there's no mountains. The reason why I'm going to be looking at this, guys, is because Barry is looking like it could possibly affect parts of the Mid-Atlantic, Northeast, and the Appalachian Mountains. So the Appalachian Mountains for sure go above 5,000 feet, and a lot of people live there. And if they may live more than even above 5,000 feet, they can expect higher winds than this. So I also want to show this for these people that live in the mountains that want to know exactly what they can feel, not what people feel in the plains, but what they feel on the higher elevations. So again, this is going to be showing up to 92 knots there for Louisiana, parts of Mississippi, going straight through the Mississippi River, bringing up to 75 knots there for central Mississippi and parts of Arkansas. And then this is the part where we really tend to look out for as it goes over here into the Appalachian Mountains. Right here is where we need to look out as it goes over here for the Appalachian Mountains. It can actually bring possibly not a huge amount of, possibly only 30 knots, which actually could, with the saturated soil and the saturated ground, 30 knots can do some damage, and then it can bring up to 38 knots there for North Carolina over there in the Appalachians, and then it should leave there and possibly turn to a next system as it goes in the Atlantic. We still don't know that yet. The last thing we're going to be looking at is the radar, guys. So as you can tell, Barry's going to bring a lot of bands. We can actually have bands affecting parts of the Big Bend areas later tonight, bringing some huge severe weather threats there. That's from a band, and here's the second band there, and we have even some more bands affecting the Louisiana and Gulfport area tonight. So that's what I'm saying. It's basically now or never to evacuate. It's later today. It will even bring, or later tomorrow, as it makes landfall, guys. It's even going to bring in some huge bands for Mississippi and Alabama. But look at this, right when it makes landfall, it's 993 millibars, already bringing in some light to moderate rain for Baton Rouge and New Orleans. And look at this heavy rain to come. Again, up to 20 inches there. Look at this. It's not going to get any better. Even going to bring in some bands already all the way to 2 below, even for parts of the Jackson area and heading towards the Mobile area. And look at this, it's going to bring extremely heavy rain now for just west of New Orleans. So if you guys just live a couple miles away from New Orleans, you guys can expect the worst of it now. And look, these bands can even bring in some wall clouds there. It's going to go heads towards the Nashville area, heads toward the Carolinas, heads toward my area, heads all the way like this. These bands for tropical storms can be crazy, guys. And it's going to bring so much heavy rain. It's going to be some downpours in these same areas is where we're going to have so much heavy rain. Just in a couple hours, we can have a whole rainfall of a week in just a couple hours. And then later on, it does get a bit disorganized again. But look at the heavy rain that's to come for the Mississippi River. Look at all this heavy rain to come, and it's a very slow-moving storm, guys. So this is why it's even a huge threat, even a bigger threat. And then look at this heavy rain. It's gonna, at this point, guys, it is looking like it's going to be depression, 1,008 millibars. But look at all this heavy rain to come for the Mississippi River, and then it should bring in some more rain heading towards the St. Louis area, and then it should bring in some more rain out there for the southeast for the days to come after this. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please never forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm on way so very close to 1,300. I really appreciate it, and my goal is 2,000. The milestone's 10,000. But guys, hope you guys are all safe. Please be sure to put notifications on. Also, please be sure to share this video for any family members or cousins or friends, anyone that you know that can be in the path, even if they can be in the path for the depression part, for they know what's heading towards their way, because a lot of people underestimate depressions, and even if they're going to hit by Tropical Storm Barry, just let them know, guys. And yeah, alright, see you guys in the next video, and bye, guys.